Hi friends, once again I Sunil Gupta welcome you in the revision series for the prelims examination polity and governance. As I have made the commitment in the last series that we will continue the series, and today is the series number 5. Revision series 1 related to constitutional framework, series 2 related to the preamble of the constitution, third related to that is salient feature, fourth executive side of government, and today is the 5th series that is dedicated for these legislatures in India. Later on 6th series will have to make the impact upon the questions asked from the judicial side of India. Now, for the civil services examination, this series means the legislature in India is very important topic. So, let us see some of the important basic information in terms of competitiveness I would like to share with you. If you go for the legislatures in India is concerned, about 6 to 7 questions are asked in the prelims examination. 6 to 7 questions matters. So, if you have the good clutch over the legislature, you are very comfortable to make a good score in the civil services examination for the GS. The nature of question is of the many types. Some questions are very straightforward. A speaker is said to be what? Then a straightforward question. Some questions are very coding in nature. Just like for example, what is the responsibility of a speaker? So, 2 or 3 options are there, you have to select among the options. Some questions are related to a statement validation, statement number 1, statement number 2, and you have to validate the statement. And some questions are asked in matching format. The role of the functionaries, responsibilities, and you have to match it. It may be of the cross matching or the correctly matching. So, based upon that, such kind of the questions, typologies are there. You have to take care of this fact. If you go through the difficulty level is concerned, difficulty level of question is very moderate for the prelims examination. For the main examination, no doubt, contemporary and analytical questions are generally asked, but for the prelims examination, factual information and the semi-analytical form of information is generally asked. So, based upon that, if you go through the 10 years of papers, then you may find out some of the core areas with respect to legislatures in India, right. In order to make the convenience of the presentation, I have just divided in the whiteboard legislature into 3 important parts here. The first important part, what is called the union legislature, that is responsible for making law for the union subject and the concurrent subjects. A state legislature like legislative assembly, legislative council, they have to make the law on the state subject and the concurrent list subject also. This local government, it is not called local legislature, local government, that may be divided into 2 parts, rural local government commonly known as the Panchayati Raj institution, and urban local government commonly known as the municipal government. 73rd and 74th Amendment Act has given the prominent position of the local government. So, we have to just take it under the legislatures in India. Now, let us start the core area of the examination. Union legislature, generally questions are asked from these particular areas. Now, see what is here. The first important, what is called the structure of the union legislature. Union legislature commonly known as parliament. Theoretically, it comprises of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and President of India, but structurally only 2 important functional institutions are there, what is called the Lok Sabha, another important Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, very important house here. Questions are generally asked from these 4 important areas. What is the strength of the Lok Sabha? You know very well, sanctioned strength is 552. Existing strength now this time is the 545, where the 543 persons are coming from the election and 2 nominated by the President of India Qualification is that 2 Anglo-Indian should be there, and if Anglo-Indian community is not represented in Lok Sabha, this is called the strength, right. Second important, what is called the qualification to be the member of Lok Sabha. You know very well, age 25, the person should have registered voter in any constituency in India, the person should not have any criminal background as mentioned under the section 8 of Representation of People Act 1951, and some prescribed matters are there. Disqualifications, no doubt disqualification is nothing but very correlated to the qualification. Here is the citizen of India, if you relieve from the citizen of India, renounce citizenship, then disqualification may possible. Apart from this, one important thing is added under disqualification, this is called the ADL. ADL means the Anti-Defection Law. Anti-Defection Law we introduced by the 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1985, and later on this Anti-Defection Law, it has to say, if after election of any person with a particular party should continue with respect to the ideology and the functioning of the political party, otherwise certain provisions are made. If you are going to happen in such a way, it is called defection, and disqualification may possible here also. Functionaries are there in order to regulate the house. So many officers are there, they are called the functionaries of the legislature, like Speaker Lok Sabha, very important person, certain responsibilities are there, questions are coming from the responsibilities. In absence of a speaker, deputy speaker of Lok Sabha, that is here. Leader of opposition we have created later on. So, 1969 we have created the position of the leader of opposition. Later in the 1977 we have made 10% strength is required to be leader of opposition. Later on, leader of opposition is getting participated in the public governance. Whenever you are going to select the members for NHRC, then one collegium is required, and collegium consisting of leader of opposition. Now, Lokpal and Lok Ayukta Act 2013 also, if you have to select the member for the Lok Ayukta, the leader of opposition must be consulted. In the appointment of the director CBI, director or commissioner CBCs, then leader of opposition role is important. So, leader of opposition one of the important functionary. Apart from that, whip officers are there. Then these are the areas upon which the questions are asked here, right. Same way, the upper house of the parliament, what is called the Rajya Sabha, same things are there, that is strength of the Rajya Sabha, qualification to be the member of Rajya Sabha, disqualification, and the functionaries. Functionaries, very important, chairperson of the Rajya Sabha is here. And who is the chairperson of Rajya Sabha? Very well, ex officio chairperson, and this is called the Vice President of India, right. So, these are the particular information is coming from the structure of the union legislature. Same way, second important area, what is called the session of the parliament. Session, regular sessions are there, what is called the monsoon session, budget session, another important what is called the winter session. These are called the regular session. Apart from that, lame duck sessions are there. Apart from that, the special sessions are there also. So, based upon that, these questions are asked under the sessions here. So, under the session, the sittings are going to happen. Individual sittings may possible, joint sittings may possible also. Under which circumstances joint sitting? Under which circumstances joint sitting should not be? These are prescribed, and the factual information we have to take into consideration for the prelims examination. Privileges are concerned may be divided into two parts. Individual privileges be the member of the parliament, and collective privileges being the house of the parliament, right. So, certain privileges are under the house, certain privileges are under the member of parliament, individual and collective privileges, we have to go through that. Procedures are concerned, basically so many processes are going to happen under the legislature, but three important procedures generally questions are asked here. The first important is called law making procedure. So, law making procedure is said to it is going to happen under the 5 important areas. First reading of the bill, second reading of the bill, third reading of the bill, fourth important the passage, and the fifth important what is called the, that is the assent by the president. The 5 areas are concerned, sequential areas are there, we have to take care of this particular fact here. Second important what is called the budget enactment. Budget enactment means budget is also enacted by parliament. This is also the responsibility basically of the Lok Sabha, because this is a part of the money bill, but stages are being made, just like for example, first presentation, then general discussion, then voting on demands for grant, then appropriation bill approval, then the finance bill approval. So, these are the very sequential in nature. We have to take care of the sequential steps. Under the sequential steps, one motion has to come, what is called the cut motion. Cut motion is important, having the three types: policy cut, another important token cut, and the economic cut. Symbolic meaning, we have to take care of the fact. And the third important, what is called procedure to maintain accountability. Accountability maintenance is being done by many procedure, like first important in a procedure, what is called the question is concerned. So, parliamentarian has to ask the question, may it be a start question, unstart question, 0-hour question is concerned, may it be a part of what the debate on legislation, may it be the part of discussion, maybe of the half an hour discussion or the short discussion is there, may be a part of the very important form what is called the motion, may it be the call attention motion, adjournment motion, and the no confidence motion, censure motion. So many motions are there, you have to take care of the some of the important facts. So, from which the questions are generally asked. I am giving you the information, but the much more information is going to happen inside this. I am just giving you the core area for the information, where the questions are generally asked in the prelims examination. Friends, infrastructure is very important part of the legislature, because without infrastructure such kind of processing is not possible. And for this particular way, two important prominent infrastructure is going to happen in the parliament. One is called the secretariat. Under article 98, parliament will have the separate secretariat, separate for the Lok Sabha, another important for the Rajya Sabha. Even separate media channels are there, Lok Sabha TV and the Rajya Sabha TV. Now, here is these are the going to be happen here. Second important part is there, what is called the committee. Committee is the strength of the parliament, it is called the micro parliament. So many committees are there, some of the prominent committees like public accounts committees, estimates committees, committee on public undertaking, committee on the privilege, committee on assurance, committees on department standing committee for the investigation, joint parliamentary committee has to come here. So, what are the roles and the functions of the certain committees? Important here, you have to take care of this particular fact here, right. Apart from this one, this is also being supported by PRS legislative research. PRS legislative research is the wing of the research and development for the parliamentary processing. Based upon the PRS legislative research, parliament has to make the modification in certain bills, characteristics and the functioning, right. So, this is related to the union parliament, the questions are asked from this particular area. I feel I have made the very detailed discussion about this particular area, but much more detail is also there. If you go the factual information inside the information, right, inside the skeleton, right. A state legislature, that is consisting of the same thing, you have to deal with the state legislature. Like the structure, here is the Lok Sabha, a state legislature, it is called legislative assembly, Vidhan Sabha. Here is the Rajya Sabha, then some legislatures have also the second house, what is called the legislative council. Now, legislative assembly, same way, structure, session, sitting, everything is there, council, the same thing is going to happen in the system. You have to go through that. Generally, questions are asked from legislative council, legislative assembly, the questions are not coming much more, because it is very close to the Lok Sabha and the questions are asked from the Lok Sabha. Then there is the, what is the focus of attention in the legislature at the state level, what is called legislative council. Basically, the breakup of legislative council is under the debate and you have to go through this particular breakup. Just like maximum number of the members in legislative council, how much, that is 1/3 of the strength of the legislative assembly. And out of that particular, the prescriptions are mentioned under article 169 also, 1/3 person elected from the legislative assembly, 1/3 from the local government, 1/12 from the graduate side, 1/12 from the teacher side, and rest of the person 1/6 from the nominated by the governor. So, based upon that the questions are generally asked from this particular area. Now, let us see very important portion is there, what is called the local government, and this is the PRIs are concerned. Earlier rural local government PRIs and municipalities were there, but they are not so empowered, but after 73rd and 74th Amendment Act they are getting empowerment. PRIs are getting empowered by 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 and similarly 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 empowered the municipalities, right. Here is the Panchayati Raj institutions are concerned. 73rd Amendment Act has empowered. Some of the important provisions are, fundamentals. You have to note down here. First important structure has been cleared. Finance has been cleared. State Finance Commission has been constituted. A State Election Commission had been constituted for this particular purpose. Reservation, SC, ST, and apart from SC, ST, for the first time, 1/3, at least of the 1/3 reservations have been made for the women section of society. The certain listing of the powers are mentioned in the schedule 11 consisting of the 29 subjects here, and so automatically these are the important information. Same way municipalities having so much information similar to 73rd Amendment Act, but two important structure is very exclusive, and this is called the DPC, District Plan Committee, and MPC, what is called the Metropolitan Plan Committees, right. District Plan Committee under Article 243 ZD and 243 ZE has to deal with the Metropolitan Plan Committee. So, based upon this particular picture, the questions are asked, and how much questions may possible? 6 to 7 questions may possible here, right. Right. At the last, every time I would like to say you that if you have to make the preparation, then you have to take care of precaution also. So, what is called the precaution? Precautionary measures, the same thing is going to happen. Two important area I would like to make the precautions here. The first important, what is called the microscopic distinction. Microscopic distinction means what? You have to take care of the microscopic terms, microscopic statements made in the validation. For example, much more confusions are going to happen between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha also. Much more confusion is going to happen between Legislative Assembly and Lok Sabha also. The much more confusion between Rajya Sabha and this Vidhan Sabha is there, right. So, based upon that one, you have to take care of the fact here. Much more automatically distinction is going to happen in the session and the sittings, right. Much more distinctions are going to happen with the confidence motion, no confidence motion, censure motion. Much more confusion is going to happen in the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. So, we have to take care of the microscopic consideration. And second important, what I told you earlier also, what is called standardization. Do not create the information, do not analyze the information from your side if factually standardized by the standard book. Just like for example, a speaker is said to be the cornerstone of Lok Sabha, then cornerstone of Lok Sabha. You cannot say the leader of opposition is said to be the cornerstone of the Lok Sabha, right. So, you should understand that this is the particular fact, opinion has been made the standardized, then standardization must be continued. Do not apply your mind while dealing with the questions related to these particular areas, right. So, these are the particular discussion, and at last I would like to tell you that you have to, many aspirants I have just noticed here, many aspirants have to say that I am not getting the video appropriately. So, I am telling you this video should be a part of the subscription, subscribe the channel and share the video, so that whenever the next video has to come, automatically you will be notified. And at last I would like to tell you all the best, and next I will meet you in revision series number 6, that is dedicated for the judiciary in India, right. So, for that particular time being, all the best. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.